Okay. Thanks, Bianca. Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you're all doing well. So, on behalf of the Center for Cyber Defense, I'm delighted to welcome you all. So, our talk is on AI-augmented software delivery from agile teams to enterprise decision intelligence. So, AI is rapidly changing the software industry, but the real enterprise story is more practical and more complex than the public hype suggests. So this talk will explore how AI is being adopted inside modern software delivery environment, not only by the developers, but also by business analysts, scrum managers, project managers, architects, product teams, and delivery leaders. So this talk will run for approximately 45 to 50 minutes, after which we'll open the floor for a question and answer session. So it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, Mr. Ullas Das. Mr. Das is an accomplished enterprise software delivery and technology management professional with over 20 years of experience. His expertise spans software delivery, agile transformation, program
Could you add to
management,
the room 205, Davis?
release coordination, Scrum, Safe, hybrid delivery governance, and large-scale technology execution. So he has worked with global teams across a wide range of industry, including banking, engineering, software, manufacturing, automotive, SaaS, cloud, and AI-enabled environment. So more recently, his work has focused on AI-augmented software delivery, the responsible use of enterprise AI tools, and the evolving role of human judgment in software management. He has also pursued professional education in applied AI and machine learning and actively contributes to thought leadership through research-driven and industry-focused writing. So please join me in welcoming Mr. Ullas Das. So I'm turning it over to Mr. Das. Mr. Das, please go ahead.
Thank you, Kaushik, for such a nice introduction. I will try my best to come up with something interesting and thoughtful. So maybe I will add some value to the people who have joined. So thanks a lot for joining. Let me start. So before I start, quick confession test. So who here has ever clicked I agree button without reading the full software policy or privacy notice or terms and condition? You, you do not have to admit it loudly. We are not. You are in mute, but a silent smiley is like more than enough, right? I can see it. I can visualize it. Like AI risk often starts the same way. Not with some kind of hacker wearing some cool hoodie like we see in movies, right? Sometimes it starts with a very normal way, like one very innocent looking text box. My perspective comes from nearly 2 decades in enterprise software delivery, like Kaushik mentioned. I worked in the area of SaaS, program execution, AI-enabled delivery environments across multiple industries. So I will keep today's examples practical, but also responsible. I cannot share internal prototypes, company architecture, or confidential workflows, but I will use safe patterns, public information, and anonymized field observations. So you might have seen in the chat, I shared one Google spreadsheet link for questions. So please add your questions there during the session. Your name and email ID are optional, only if you're comfortable sharing them publicly. I will answer as many as time allows, and I may group similar questions together so we use the time well. You will also find my website at research.ullasdas.com. My broader interests include, like I mentioned, applied AI, software delivery, digital products, AI-assisted workflow, and practical technology entrepreneurship. I really enjoy creating website and app prototypes. Now, with that framing, let's begin with the real reason AI became interesting inside the enterprise. So, like I started, let me say it again. AI did not enter the office like a robot, like we have seen in sci-fi movies since probably 1950. It entered as a simple text box. Can you see my screen change? or not yet?
No,
Oh, I
we
am
don't
not sharing.
can see.
Okay.
Yeah, please share your screen.
Just a second. Let me share. Okay. Can you see it?
Yes. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. So like I mentioned, so the prompt box is a governance boundary. So it takes a disguise like a text box, right? Like a UI control. So the question is, what changed first, the technology or our behavior? Usually what happens, behavior changes first. Like people started pasting before even our internal policy caught up. So for all of us, it's not like any any proper announcement happened or there is some robot knocking our door, right? It's more of like we came to know there is some public available GPT or AI model. We either downloaded the app or open the browser, and we're just looking at like simple looking text box where this harmless UI actually hides questions of data boundary, intellectual property, auditability, accountability. So it looks like so easy, right? A simple text box, like a magic button is there. You type, click the button, it will answer your questions. Now, this is a curriculum cycle versus market cycle question. Just two different cycles running at its own pace. We, of course, respect the foundations, right? Do not confuse it with the finish line. So, looking at this slide, it may provoke some thought like, is our syllabus wrong? No, syllabus is not wrong, but it's probably a bit slower than the market. And there are proper reasons for that, right? Like before teaching anything at academic level, verifications are needed, right? They cannot show something uncertain to you. They cannot teach you something which is not yet proven. So whatever is established, like typically well established, those kind of things are put in front of you. But in market, actually, in many cases, they learn from failure. For example, like you can do a quick Google search. You can read World Economic Forum Future of Jobs 2025 report. Just spend 10 minutes. You can understand what I'm saying. Like maybe part of your syllabus you are reading certain things, but if you look at the way jobs are changing, you will probably feel like, okay, probably we need little more acceleration. But is there any proved guidelines around that? Not yet. People are actually running through it, going through it, sometimes learning from their own mistakes. So at academic level, as things in many cases are proven, of course, in research cases, you are kind of doing experiment and discovering things and learning through failure cycles. But usually the structure is a bit more straight line. Like the problem statement is well given. You have very clear assignment. You know the deadline. And answers are very much graded. But in industry, adaptation, as you see in my chart, right, like in the presentation, the problem is not a straight line. Like the whole thing is not a straightforward thing. It's very clumsy. Problem is negotiated, unclear requirements. Like in academics, you know what to do, where to do. Of course, maybe you are discovering something, you are inventing something, but at least you know the problem statement. In real life, in industry, you are half done and suddenly you see the requirement totally got changed. It's not like someone is doing their job in a lazy way. That's how it works. Like during the progress they discover certain things, and the business requirement or where the funding is coming, it's totally changing. Priorities are getting changed. They suddenly discover security constraint. Suddenly budget gets changed. You present something, stakeholders disagree, all those things happen. Let me move to the next slide. And again, reminder, whoever joined late, in the chat, I have shared a Google spreadsheet link. So while I am giving this presentation, feel free to note down your questions right now. So once we are done, based on the order, I can start answering most of those questions. Okay, so we are at slide 4. Industry work is kind of some oddly structured problem space with shifting constraints. So quick question to all of you. You can use your chat. You need to type something. But before that, let me give you a context. So market and its space, it may sound a bit scary, right? Like when we were children, we are at schools, things were very well defined. We are seeing our parents, they are doing some safe job, they are getting promotions, staying in the same company for years, and it's a well structured thing. Even the promotion and next level of job and roles and responsibilities are kind of well designed. But right now we are seeing things are drastically changing. Sometimes after hearing these things or looking at the pattern, sometimes some people or students may feel like they are probably less smart, but that's not true. The chance is that they are probably less exposed to the messy constraints. So in school, the problem is usually already framed, but in industry, half the job is discovering what problem people actually need solved. So in real work, according to you, which feels harder, like writing a code or the clarity or the communication? So this is a participatory question. Like I really want to see what you guys are typing. So I'm just trying to make it a bit interactive so it does not become boring. Sorry if someone is already sleeping. So I want you guys to answer that. I repeat the question again. So in real world, in industry, what is your understanding? What do you think? Like which feels harder? Coding something is harder, or clarity about the requirement is harder to find, or actually communicating is harder? Okay, I'm seeing some answers. Clarity and communication. Someone is writing code is significantly more tedious than clarity about the requirement. Someone wrote same thing. And then I think communication and networking is hardest. Clarifying the problem, communicating to stakeholders, communication. Yes, I'm seeing a lot of answers. So if the question is which one is hardest, my answer is communication. Most delivery failures do not start with bad code. They start with unclear expectations. So I personally have a belief, like we humans are very primitive in communication. So whatever we communicate, it can have some difference, like the way I structure my sentence and the way the receiver getting it and then his brain analyzing, there are always gaps. Like if I say I am thirsty, maybe someone thinking very straightforward think like this guy needs water. Maybe I am saying like I just want to grab a beer. Or maybe I am more of a philosophical guy, I am very thirsty about some knowledge, right? So things can be interpreted in different ways and it's very contextual. So most of you might have seen the movie Avatar, right? So there someone touches someone and the communication is flown, so the true thought process is passed. But in industry, what happens? Someone thinks something, then he's sharing that with another analyst. So group of 5 business analysts are writing some document in their way, then that is going to the developer. They're kind of having their own interpretation, they're delivering something, and then the business analyst team sometimes saying yes, sometimes saying no, more fixes are happening, and then when it is delivered to the end client, again we are discovering a lot of communication gaps. So yes, communication is the hardest thing, yes, but other than communication, clarity, code, those are problems. And in this AI era, coding is becoming one of the easiest things if we can write the prompt in the right way. Let's move to the next slide. I probably need to increase my pace. So AI compresses apprenticeship, not accountability. AI removes some beginner friction. So judgment becomes visible quite earlier. Students who can explain, validate, and protect data can stand out faster. For example, like PwC 2026 Global AI Job Barometer, AI exposed junior roles are 7 times more likely to demand traditionally senior skills. So as you see in this image, so certain basic level activities which were expected from juniors joining the industry maybe 5 years back, those space is getting shrunk. So at that level, they are more looking for judgment, leadership, strategic thinking, those kind of areas. Like it's like you are skipping multiple stair steps because AI is helping you there. Okay, moving to the next slide. We are at slide 6. So schools everywhere are asking, what should students learn when tools change every month? This is an employability pressure signal, not a policy recommendation. So Reuters 2025 China AI education reform reported that China to rely on artificial intelligence in education reform bid. So we'll come to know a lot of such newses. Things are getting changed in a rapid manner, but no need to worry. We just need to keep educating ourselves. And I repeat, in this presentation, I am trying to touch some of those changes that we are experiencing at industry level. Let me move to the next slide. So applied AI increasingly asks, what did the research change in the real world? This is not anti-academic. It is research plus impact. Applied AI evaluation is kind of moving from publication only to evidence plus impact. They are more looking for outcome, because I think most of you can realize the quality might be mediocre, but by writing a smart prompt and giving some background and context, we can actually write a mediocre level uh, publish ready article in probably 30 minutes or 45 minutes. Yes, it might be a bit mediocre, but if you improve your prompt engineering, that can actually excel. So that's why in practical level, people are more looking for impact and outcome. Okay. So what does the industry actually want? Speed without security is reckless. And security without adaptability is very slow. So accountability holds the system together. So as you can see in the screenshot, right? So DORA metrics are research-backed way to measure software delivery performance. How fast changes move, how often teams deploy, how often changes fail, and how quickly teams recover. So the important lesson is industry does not only want speed. It wants speed with stability, judgment, security, and accountability, because faster delivery without control just creates faster problems. Okay, slide 9. So many organizations bought license before building training and policy. License means I'm talking about, of course, AI license. So a tool rollout is not a maturity model. Access is who can open it, but maturity is who knows when not to use it. So NIST AI risk management framework, I don't know, some of you might have noticed that, like, it reminds us that AI maturity is not just giving people access to a tool. It is the ability to govern, map, measure, and manage the AI risk before the tool affects real work. Why I am saying this? Let's explore further. Slide 10. So enterprise review is not always bureaucracy. Sometimes it is the seat belt. Like in startups, the basic question is, can this work? But at enterprise level, the question is like, can this work safely? Can this work legally, securely, repeatedly? And can we scale it? The model is deployable only when it is reliable, governed, and economically useful. So this OWASF chart, it is a reminder that once AI moves from answering questions to taking actions, risk becomes layered. A useful AI agent can still be dangerous if it has too much permission, weak isolation, poor scanning, or no governance. For your reference, this AST01 to AST10, these are like risk categories. Some of you might be already knowing that. And the maestro numbers are like AI system layers. For example, 2 is data, 3 is agent framework, 4 is infrastructure, like that. All of my slides have this. Most of this has direct hyperlinks at the bottom. So if you want to know further, you can always explore. Moving to the next one. Slide 11. Okay, so let me tell you about one large global engineering software environment where I worked. The challenge was not simply building software. That is now very easy. Bigger challenge was coordinating teams, protecting intellectual property, managing releases, and keeping trust across various regions. AI value appears when it is embedded in delivery control loops. So AI becomes a delivery signal processor when connected to real workflow. Okay, next slide. Now, software is no longer only software when it touches production, supplies, compliance, and industrial operations. Cyber physical context turns AI from a productivity question into governance question. Slide 13. Now, at enterprise level, what do we mean by AI maturity? It means moving from individual experiments to approved tools, then into real workflow with logs, controls, review, and data boundaries. The final stage is when AI becomes trusted enough to support portfolio and risk decisions, not just create faster outputs. This is the shift from tool adaptation to operating model. So McKinsey's 2025 State of AI shows that AI use is now widespread, but maturity is still uneven. Many organizations are experimenting or piloting, while only a small share are fully scaled. Enterprise AI maturely means moving from scattered tool use to approved tools, integrated workflows, governed augmentation, and decision intelligence, like I was mentioning. Okay, we are at slide 14. So you may recognize people, but please do not point out at anyone on Zoom. But it's a question, like, in your current or past working environment, which persona have you already seen? So there you can see 5 type of persona: enthusiasts, and then registers, secret user, and then the prompt tourist, and overnight expert. So the definitions are already written there. So I want you guys to just type 1 to 5 what type of persona you experienced. just to make it interactive and fun, I want to see your answers. So someone wrote the register, regis me. Someone talked about enthusiast. Yes, that's well seen. 3 and 1, 1 with arrow. Okay. Then 3, again the enthusiast. 3 means the secret user. Yes, that is very interesting. 3 with a lol. Yes, secret user. That's how probably many of us start when we look at something new, and eventually we understand. Okay. Someone wrote, I know some prompt tourists who just want to have fun. By the way, we have two about to be teenager guests in our list. As you see in the chat, Orik Ullas and Orhan Ullas. They are actually my twin boys. They are 12 years old, so they are also replying. Okay. And another person said the enthusiast. Okay, let's see what else I can bring up here. So enthusiast, yes. This is, of course, one very popular persona type. So enthusiasts are not careless if they validate. AI should make thinking faster, not optional. So this is calibrated trust, useful reliance without surrendering judgment. Next one is the register one. So uh, reminder, some people resist because rollout was unclear, policy was vague, or maybe the training was weak. So registered, that does not mean there's some negative energy, right? Like resistance is often change management signal, not a technical objection. Probably we need to have some partnership with them, ensure like where is the gap, how we can train better, how we can introduce better policy, etc. Okay. And then the secret user. So we all have those colleagues and friends who claim they had written everything in their post or work, but the text pattern, excessive use of long hyphen and Unicode character, they disagree. Shadow AI is a governance issue. So just a practical reminder, policy often chases behavior pattern quite late. So shadow AI is unapproved tool used outside enterprise control boundaries. So next type of persona is prompt tourists. So this type of persona are like the guys who tries AI, gets a good looking answer and feels productive. But in enterprise work, the value is not the answer. I repeat, the value is not the answer. The value is the result that the team verifies, improves, and actually uses. So that's the difference. This is also something even I used to be prompt tourist at some point of time, but eventually realized. And then the overnight expert. This is also a very popular persona. So the overnight expert watched, let's say, 3 AI videos, asked ChatGPT for a roadmap, and by morning, he had added Python, cloud, AI strategy, and digital transformation to LinkedIn. So fast learning is not bad. That's good. Many of you are actually master at it and really smart. But in enterprise work, confidence is not a certification. Proof of real understanding and proof of real work is what we need at industry level. Skill inflation without evaluation creates some governance risk. Okay, we are at slide 20. So AI helps turn messy inputs into structured artifacts. The caveat is output still requires human review. The 2023 Ping et al. Study found that the developers using GitHub Copilot completed a controlled task 55.8% faster than those without, suggesting significant productivity gains. Now, coming back to industry. So, just a second. most of you already know these terminologies, right? But very simply, waterfall is planned step by step. Agile works in short feedback cycles, and hybrid mixes both because real enterprise rarely follow one perfect textbook model. That's kind of the background homework. Most of you already know. But AI does not replace any of these methods. It sits above them like a better headlight or maybe a GPS system or warning signal. It's in parallel, just sits above. But if the team is confused, AI can only make the confusion faster. Reminder, it can only make the confusion faster. So the goal is clarity, not just the speed. The unit of value moves from task completion to decision intelligence. DORA 2024 warns that AI can improve individual productivity, but delivery stability can suffer if the system is weak. McKinsey 2025 report says the winners are not just using AI, they're redesigning workflows around it. So here is the simple idea. AI first helps us finish tasks like writing notes, code, test ideas, or reports. But enterprise value starts when those outputs become signals. What is risky, what is blocked, what needs a decision, and who owns it. Okay. Now the terminologies behind using AI at work. So again, I guess many of you already know these terminologies. So here is the plain English version. So shadow AI means people using AI tools without approval. RAG, it is probably one of the most popular terminology. So retrieval augmented generation. The AI first retrieves information from an approved source that generates an answer using the information. In simple terms, it means the AI is not just guessing; it's answering based on approved documents, knowledge base, or company data, curated ones like that it is allowed to use. Evals means like testing the AI to see if it behaves correctly or not. Guardrails, again, the name suggests, are rules and technical limits that stop unsafe use. Human in the loop, again, the name says it. It means a real person reviews the AI before anything risky happens. So the serious point is like NIST AI RFF gives organizations a way to manage AI risk, and there are top highlights common security risks in AI apps. So enterprise AI is not just someone is saying use the model. It's like we need to control how the model behaves. Now, next slide is something interactive. So you need to write one prompt. It's a challenge for you guys. So I know most of you are already using AI in different ways. Some are having paid apps, some like premium one, some may have like free ones using. I think at university level, most of you already have some pro version of Gemini or ChatGPT or something. So it does not matter. You can use the free version also. That's not mandatory. So you need to ask your AI if you have any AI, or assume that you have an AI if you do not have one right now with you. But I want to see your prompt writing skill. Like this is kind of the messy note we have. As you can see on the screen, you can take a screenshot. AI understands screens. So you need to ask it to write 150 word abstract for the below messy note. So I will give you 60 seconds and I want to see what kind of AI prompt you write to get this kind of solution. So maybe your time starts now. I want to see after 60 seconds, whoever can sportingly give me some kind of prompt. So a hint, a good prompt is a compressed requirements document. That's a hint. Okay, so this is 12:40. We'll probably wait till around 12:41 or a few seconds more to see who can write a good prompt where asking AI to create a 150-word abstract for the below messy note. You can take a screenshot about the note, or I can copy paste here in the chat for your use. So this is the messy note. I will copy it here. Back to the slide. Okay, I am seeing some prompts. Okay, I see Orhan wrote one prompt. Construct an exactly 150-word abstract for the scrap notes provided below. Do not hallucinate. Stay consistent. Utilize the information above logically. Okay. Audi wrote, make me a 150-word abstract project about AI co-scientist for early disease research. Here are more resources. Dataset, blah, 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 blah. Okay, okay. Anyone else? I probably need to move on because we are running out of time. Okay. So this is workplace literacy. So it is a new normal, not a prompt hack. Like as you see on screen, role, context, task, constraints, plus output is really a very lightweight requirement specification architecture. So basically give AI the job, the situation, the rules, and the format. Why? So I just did the similar research with, I have paid version of Gemini, but I used the free version of Gemini and the Flash model just to show the difference. So left side, you can see when I gave this very usual straightforward instruction to the AI, you look at the abstract, it's very generic. And the right side, I used a typical way of writing the prompt. So the prompt text is, I will copy paste the prompt for you guys. You can utilize, you can hack it in for your own use. It might be useful in long run. So this is the way I would have written the prompt. So this is a very structured way. In this industry, nothing is fully right or wrong. Things are just different. So it's like different way of prompting. You may find someone using even better prompt to do the same job, but this is kind of a starting point. This can actually inspire you to write better prompts, and you will start seeing better results. So the whole idea is get inspired. And I have seen many people blame AI, like AI is not that smart. I will probably smile and say you need to work better on your prompt. Moving to the next one. Okay, we are having limited time, so I will go fast. So public AI versus corporate AI, like most of you know that the interface looks almost the same, but like you just type a question, right? AI gives you an answer, but the real difference is the boundary. So public AI is like an open field, like easy to use, but you may not know where the data goes, who controls it, or whether company information is allowed there. Corporate AI is more like a walled garden, like approved access, tenant boundaries, audit logs, policy controls, a lot of things are there. So very important feature is human judgment. So this is corporate GPT case studies. So it's like, it's a question for you guys. I don't know whether most of the universities have their own version of GPT or not, but it's a thought-provoking thing. Like these public examples show that corporate GPT is not a toy chatbot with a company logo. At enterprise scale, the real challenge is not only giving people AI access, It is controlling who can use it, what data it can touch, what gets logged, and what must stay protected. From enterprise environments, I have seen that this becomes very real very fast. Like, people want speed, but the organization has to protect intellectual property, customer data, research ideas, and internal decisions. So honestly, like, we should think about this too, like, because unpublished research, student data, grant idea, and lab notes can leak through one innocent looking copy paste. Okay, so availability is not authorization. Even if the button exists in a work tool, the use case and data class still matter. So the Open Worldwide Application Security Project calls out two big LLM risks here, like prompt injection and sensitive information disclosure. So in plain English, someone can trick the AI, or we can accidentally feed it information it should never receive. So before you paste anything, pause for 3 seconds and ask, am I sharing information? Am I outsourcing judgment? Am I letting it act? Because copy paste looks small, but in AI, it can cross a trust boundary. So you did not even see that boundary. Okay, so quick risk game. So green means, so it's interactive. You need to just write G, Y, or R, green, yellow, or red. Okay, green means public or approved. Yellow means pause, minimize, anonymize, and use the approve tool. And red means do not paste, because now we are touching confidential, personal, production or security or source code risk. So I will copy paste few scenarios, and within 10-15 seconds we can see what are your answers. You can check the group chat. Also in slide you can see scenario 1 is public documentation from a company website. Do you think it's green, yellow, or red, G, Y, or R? Similar thing, second scenario is internal Jira ticket with project context but no customer data. Scenario 3 is a customer defect that includes name, email, production logs, error traces. And scenario 4, a secure code snippet from a private repo. So I want to quickly see what are your thoughts. Okay, I'm seeing answers. I don't see which scenario and which answer, but yeah, some are answering all 4. That is good. If someone is answering only 1, I am thinking they are answering about the scenario 1. Okay, reveal time. So green, say for approved, public or approved content, no personal or confidential, that is green. Then yellow needs review, of course, internal context, potentially sensitive detail, minimize, anonymize, use approved tool. And red, do not share, confidential, regulated, or proprietary data, P2 type of data, secrets, log, source code, production, or security data. So basically the slogan is like, the keyboard shortcut is control plus V, enterprise consequence can be control plus risk. Okay. Next slide. I think I'm going a bit slow. I will try to go fast. So what the research actually says. So WF and PwC point to rising demand for AI, like data, cyber, and judgment skills. As you see, Copilot also shares some study. Like, you can check these details. These are just informative things, so I will not spend much time. I will share the slide later. You can check these things and stay more aware. Now, things to do this week. So here is the homework for this week. So students, do not just practice prompting, practice judgment. And if we have any faculty, you may already know this, but just a reminder, do not just grade the AI output. Teach the guardrails around it. And if we have any professionals joining here, treat AI like a very fast junior teammate. It is useful, confident, and occasionally wrong, along with excellent grammar. So review it, challenge it, and own the final decision. Final decision should have a human ownership. That's the point. Okay. So we are almost at the end. The future belongs to policy-aware, validation-minded AI operators who knows what to type, what to verify, what to protect, and what never to paste. So that's kind of the summary. And usually when I discuss this kind of topics, I see these questions usually asked to me. So I will quickly cover these things, and I believe you already are kind of adding your questions to the sheet, so I can start answering. So quickly going through FAQ, will AI replace developers? Tasks first, weak workflows next. Strong professionals who validate and govern AI becomes more valuable. And it is 12:51, so I will probably not go through these common questions. I will jump into the Excel sheet, so we can utilize the next 8 to 9 minutes, and we can close on time. But yeah, reminder, if you want to have any collaboration with me, you are AI enthusiast, you want some guidance regarding building an app or website or any other industry question, you can always visit at research.ullasdas.com, and you can communicate with me, connect with me, and we can probably come up with something meaningful. Okay. And the slide end has some reference and appendix. It might be useful to some of you. Going to questions. Okay, so far I see 12 questions, and it is flooded by my twin boys. So